month of M. I have switched things around because I realized there's quite a few maps inside of Powerwash Simulator that begin with M. Pointedly, the whole Muckingham Files, which is like 9 different maps, but we're not gonna stoop to that. There's plenty of other options. We have things that directly start with M. Let's go upstairs. Let's talk. What the hell is happening on Roar TV? That poor bunny. What's going on in David the Gnome? Let's go upstairs. Doing a random sound effect. Watch your ears. God gave you an ensuite, and that's fine. He gave me a big first at bedtime. I need to delete that sound alert. Let's get these curtains up, and let's do some power washing. We have a big map to do, and I do not believe we will get this bad boy done all in one night. From all of the YouTube searches that I looked up, it seemed that this puppy was taking something like 2.5 hours, which I'm going to spoil it for you. Almost 100% not going to happen tonight, but we'll see. What is this? Oh, it's the wacky one. Gotcha. Blimey, you're actually here. Wow. Hello, Lady Pip of Loganberry. Are you the one who hired me? Management makes us speak old world to all external contractors and then wonder why no one ever turns up. That's cute. That's cute. Oh, it's the Muppet Babies channel. Look at that quality. We also have to give ourselves fancy names and prance around telling people that they putteth well. Sounds like I work for a place, and even the place I work at isn't that cringy. It's like people talk about working for the big cheese, and they talk about how it must be miserable, like, hearing all those things all the time and stuff like that. Hearing the small world all the time, or oh, you see Mickey Mouse every day. It's like, it's not nearly as annoying as whatever this horse shit is. Whatever this miniature golf is. Sounds awful. It sounds like a miserable experience. It'd be like working at medieval time, but even medieval times doesn't get up in your ass about it. Like, yeah, they're cutesy about the medieval theming, but they aren't going to turn away customers because of how kitschy they are. They have a balance, a very subtle balance, but it's there. You've always loved and respected my company. Agreed. They've done some things that all big companies might raise eyebrows at, but as a whole, they are I think they are a positive as a whole. And I think I can say that with every grain of truth in my being. I'm going to grab the top of this by jumping. What do you think the first Disney animated movie... I was just transfixed by that guy talking on Roar TV. Get out of here. What do you think your first Disney movie you ever saw was? If I had to think about it, the first one that I remember seeing was probably Little Mermaid. That's the first one I definitely remember seeing in the theaters. Whether or not it was the first one I actually went to, who knows? I'm an old man now. I don't have that memory bank still in my head, and here we are. But thinking back, I want to say the first Disney animated classic I ever saw in the movies was probably The Little Mermaid. I'm trying to think of what else was around that time. I think The Great Mouse Detective might have been around that time, but I wouldn't have remembered seeing it in the theaters. That was like mid-80s. I want to say that one came out the closest to when I was born, but yeah, I was a little too young to appreciate it, let's say. Little Mermaid was a good movie to see in the theater. There's something about the presentation of The Little Mermaid, of like the finale of the you know, Ursula being a giant sea witch and being stabbed by the... Wait, hold on. Major spoilers for The Little Mermaid, by the way. And being stabbed by that big boat that Prince Eric was driving. Wouldn't that rules? E.T. was your first movie. That's the first movie you ever remember seeing? The first movie I ever remember seeing in the theater was a movie called Shipwrecked. And I distinctly remember Shipwrecked because I slept through it. And I remember getting shit talked about it. And it's like, you know, maybe don't take me to boring movies if you don't want me to fall asleep. Whether or not it was actually a boring movie or not is a matter for the fairies to discuss after I am compost. But I remember being in the movie and then falling asleep. And I'm going to be real. If it takes the entire movie to realize that the child next to you is asleep, and then you get mad, it's like, you know, what were you doing the entire time the movie was happening? Did you not look over a single time? Seems a little like, what were you doing? Were you so enraptured by the movie Shipwrecked that you never once looked over at your... God only knows how old. Must have been 5 or 6. Maybe even younger. I don't really have any substantial memories. That music seems like it's... Actually, no, it's the Powerwash that's loud. Let's turn the spray down just a tiny bit. There we go. Spray doesn't need to be all that loud. I must have seen E.T. I think it came out around the time I was born, so I don't remember. I wouldn't have seen it in theaters, but we must have owned it. We must have owned it on a video home cassette. We must have had like the Betamax of it. Because I remember we had a bunch of E.T. shit in our house for a family that didn't really care that much about E.T. I'll say that much. How are you doing, Kitty? How was your Thursday? Florida man arrested for selling super serum. Claims it's better than kryptonite DNA. I don't like those hyphens. I don't like those little, I don't like the little quotations there. I don't want to know what Florida man was talking about with his special serum. They're building that place, that golf place near our house, Kitty, and I don't know what exactly that's going to entail. Is this TV channel just completely dark? It essentially is. Let's get rid of it. It's like some sort of like golfing world, and I don't know if it's just a place that sells like golf supplies. Like it can't be like an indoor golf course, right? I gotta say, this town is sorely underrepresented. Can't talk. I'm gonna take a drink. Sorely underrepresented by miniature golf in this town, I gotta say. Is miniature golf even really that big of a thing at all anymore? Do people still go out in miniature golf the way they used to? Or did that sort of go out the way of the dodo? I imagine most of them didn't survive COVID. But then again, what do I know? A lot of stuff survived COVID that I did not think would actually survive COVID. I was reading on a Reddit post. They were talking about how Bluey made it somehow, despite all the odds. It even survived COVID. Like, the person who was posting was saying that they even survived the pandemic, and it's like, dude, it's not. Bluey's not a restaurant. It was a TV. It's an episodic TV program, and COVID probably helped it more than anything. Like, COVID was extremely good for any, media that wanted to come out around 2020, because Bluey, the second season of it, came out in I think April of 2020, and it came out on Disney Channel in July. So basically the beginning of lockdown was when Bluey really started taking off. The point is, like, while COVID was a horrible thing for a lot of people, it really helped some industries. Now, whether or not it was worth it, I don't think so. I think not having COVID probably would have been better for society. Not that anyone talks about COVID anymore. Every now you'll still see people with masks, but it is not really discussed at any length anymore at all, which is, probably for the best. It's probably it's endemic now, so it might as well just be talked about in a sort of casual way, the way people talk about the flu, the way God intended COVID to go, just to be a everyday part of life. Sometimes we'll see a forgotten relic of those times in a poster that says to stay 6 feet away from each other. I still see a lot of references, like in back areas of make sure you're being safe, make sure you don't stand next to someone else. And it was such a wild tone shift looking at those posters and then looking around at everything else. And it's like, huh. Although that said, they did have the vax, I guess, so it makes sense that people just really kind of stopped caring. Like, well, here we are. That being said, it all rolls back to the original question. I don't know if people still do miniature golf anymore. How's Finn's training not to be a terror going? I think Finn's doing okay. Finn's still, hi Philinoid. Finn's still very much likes being a puppy. Has some severe puppy tendencies. One of Finn's favorite games. Let me tell you about Finn's favorite game that he loves doing with me. He loves coming up to my hand and either licking or biting my fingers until I pull my fingers away. And then, in a surprising twist, he reaches forward and tries to bite or lick my fingers again. This continues on until I move my hands out of range, and then he gets all fussy. He's like, hey, put your hand back down. We were having fun. Dang it. I hate it when you don't let me bite you. It's really my least favorite thing about you, that you don't let me bite your fingers. Eventually, if he gets to be too much of a little brat, The nice thing about having a small dog is you can just sort of pick him up and just chuck him across the bed. He doesn't. He weighs practically nothing, and you can just sort of swing him around. You can just sort of swing him down to the other side of the bed. And sometimes what's really nice is if I'm lying down and he's really pissing me off, I can just sort of pick him up and just gently set him down on the ground, which is really annoying to him because it's a good 12 to 15 second walk to get back to me. And sometimes he gets really stubborn and he runs right back to me and starts to do the same annoying thing he was doing. About the second or third time I gently place him down onto the floor, he's tired of running back, and he finds something. Usually he'll bring up a toy and start attacking the toy instead. Kind of like all right, you made your point. Between Truvy and Finn, I seem biteable. Truvy doesn't really... Just noticed the channel. Truvy doesn't really bite very much anymore, unless I really bother her. Truvy has definitely mellowed out since when she was a baby. Unless, of course, you're Finn the dog. If you're Finn the dog, she does not like you very much. She will let you know it. Why do I have full body when I drink? Have you ever seen a turkey drink? I can't help the way God made me. Actually forgot what I did. Well, I'm gonna watch me while I drink. That might be a little too much jiggle. I hadn't thought about it, but I'm like, maybe that's a lot. Maybe that's a little too much jiggle. Hold on, I could fix this right now. Actually, no, I can't. I need to go into the. I need to mess with everything. Joke's not worth it. How's it going, Feelanoid? How was your Thursday? Was your Thursday everything you hoped it would be? Do you like mini golf? Are you a mini golf fan? You know when the last time we really mini golfed was? Kitty and I remember the last time I mini golfed was when we went on the cruise. And if I recall, actually I take that back. When you're on a cruise, the mini golf is on deck 14. You used to mini golf with your mom? I used to mini golf. I don't know if I ever mini golf with my mom. Who did I mini golf with? It must have been Dad. The places I most remember mini golfing are Camp Kalakwa. God, I need to do a Camp Kalakwa night. Camp Kalakwa and the one at Disney. I thought you said Dallas. I'm like, that's a long ass drive. I do like how that Garfield emoji looks a little smug. Are you a taffy fan? Are you a saltwater taffy fan? Saltwater taffy is fantastic. I'm not a huge... I don't know if I'm well known on stream for saying it. I'm well known in real life. So if I haven't mentioned it before, this is some deep, hard-cutting roar lore. I hate chewing shit. Chewing sucks. I hate chewing really, really, really chewy stuff. It's annoying and frustrating, and it's like, why can't we all just eat like seagulls, where we just swallow it whole and barf it up later and then nibble it down to bits? It's not the best, but it's better than chewing. Anyways, for somebody who's not a huge fan of chewing, love me some saltwater taffy. Best fudge, gotta go to a place we found near Niagara Falls. The best fudge... I can't think of like a best place I've ever had fudge because I'm gonna be real. I don't know if this is Fudge Heresy, which is the name of my band. All fudge kind of tastes the same. Am I wrong? All fudge. Now there are different flavors of fudge, sure, but all fudge places kind of taste the same. Maybe that's a northern thing to be super fudge. I mumbled too hard. They're kind of the same. They flavor aside, like if you get a white chocolate fudge somewhere, it's going to taste different than like a pecan fudge, sure. But if you go to Marmolduzel's Fudgery in Helen, Georgia, and you get a beautiful, marbled fudge, just wonderful fudge, tastes like it came from the Swiss Alps, like consecrated by a priest in a field full of marigolds. And then you go down to Disney Springs and you get yourself from the ganachery another piece of fudge, which tastes amazing, but it was probably mass produced. And actually, I take that back. The ganacheries aren't mass produced, but then you go from that place to a place, any other place. A lot of fudges I've had have all kind of had the exact same consistency. It kind of feels like going to a Taco Bell. Whenever I get a fudge from like a fancy fudge place, I feel like I'm going to get a quality product of fudge. And I kind of know exactly what to expect every time with fudge. I don't know. Maybe this is a stupid argument here, or stupid observation. But, and I have to say, I'm not a huge fudge fan. I'm not the. There are other things I like at the sweetery. At the Candy-a-Tessin. Mackinac Island fudge the best. I feel like I have had Mackinac Island fudge. I feel like you have gotten it, somehow you've gotten it delivered to us, and we've had it. This channel sucks. I feel like I have had Mackinac Island fudge, and it was good. Let me put it this way. I don't think I've had bad fudge. You had it when we went up there? I've never... Oh, when we went to Michigan. Right. I'm like, I've never been to Mackinac Island, but we did have the fudge when we were up there. I feel like I don't really have favorites in terms of like sweets anymore. It's like I'm very boring when it comes to sweets. I pretty much like anything. And when it comes to like ice cream, I like vanilla, but I also like a lot of other flavors too. It's not quite as dire as when is this another channel from Cafe? Next time Bluey comes up, can we double check to see if it's from Cafe? Bluey's gonna come up in about 20 minutes. I'm a little concerned because it just showed us Cafe like 10 minutes ago. I've also never been to Niagara Falls. But then again, my opinions on waterfalls are not dramatically different than my opinion on fudge. So take that with a grain of salt. That's not entirely true. I like the variety in a lot of waterfalls. Like, you can have a lot of different style of waterfalls. Some of my favorite waterfalls are when you go into a cave and there's like a waterfall in a cave and it's like waterfall inception. That's like some of the coolest waterfalls. That said, I'm not all that interested in going to caves anymore. Something about going into the bowels of the earth, into a cavern that was built in something like 1943, and you go in an elevator that was somehow built 10 years before that. And what if, I don't know, there's an earthquake? What if the air filtration fails? What if there's a complete power outage? There's probably other ways to get out of the cavern, I guess. But I don't know if I want to be stuck in a cavern. The size of Niagara Falls isn't impressive. The tiny waterfalls, the local data is just as breathtaking for me. Should do a waterfall tier list. Do I not have any browser windows? I don't. I do now. Niagara Falls. I like the YouTube channel that just says, watch this. Channel's very spastic, even for me. It does look pretty. I'd go to see Niagara Falls. And then we'd have to go to the Rainforest Cafe that's up there. That said, I don't think necessarily Niagara Falls is a lot of people talk amazing things about Niagara Falls, and it is pretty, but is it better than all of the other waterfalls? I don't know why I'm so contrary. A tiny bit of a headache. I'm trying to drink enough coffee to make that go away. On the plus side, it is Thursday, which means I have 2 days off. And I'm very pleased about it. I was mentioning earlier, this map will almost assuredly not be finished tonight. It supposedly takes 2.5 hours, according to the YouTube playthroughs that were uploaded. The weird thing about Niagara Falls is that hold on, I'm going to drink coffee while I read this. I mean, with respect, isn't like the thing to see, isn't the point of going to Niagara Falls to see the falls? You sort of pick one, I would think. Alternatively, I guess can't you just have a passport? We're about to get our passports. Our passports are in progress. We will need them for the cruise we will be taking in a few months. Kitty's looking forward to having passports. I had a passport at some point. I feel like we got it when we went to Costa Rica. We had to get passports. But for obvious reasons, I didn't ever need it again. The only other places we went to were the Bahamas. And I'm just staying on the Canadian side. I've heard the Canadian side is better. Like, I have heard, usually whenever people are being, anytime you mention anything American, people are like, America? It's actually better if you see it from the Canada side. If you see it from the American side, you'll have a hospital bill to pay. Ha 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 ha. And it's, you just want to just pop them in the mouth, don't you? Just want to pop them one. You don't want to be violent because you don't want to hurt people, of course, but you just want to just sort of pop them one. Just sort of be like, pop them one. It'll be like, do you think a lot of people like not having health care? Or having the ability to not have a massive part of their paychecks diverted to health care? It's not super cool to kick people when they're down, but tell that to the rest of the world. But then every time you say that, they'll be like, well, there was an American who was mean to me. And it's like, you're all fucking children. Why am I on this hell site? And then I close whatever social media I'm on. Probably Reddit. You went to Canada and Mexico without a passport? I don't think you need a passport, I think even now. I could be wrong. I might be wrong. But we're not going to Canada, so I haven't really looked into it. I want to say, like, as long as it shares a land border, as long as you had all your proper documentation, you didn't need it. I don't know about nowadays. Nowadays, good luck, I guess. You might as well ask ChatGPT, because I don't know if anybody real even knows. It's going to be like, what do you mean? I don't have anything after 2023. I don't know what to tell you. Didn't even look in Canada. In Canada, they don't care. They're like, hey, welcome. Come on in. You good? You got your papers? All right, cool. Every time we come in from like a cruise, like the customs people always scrutinize us. Like every single one of us, flew the plane that landed in the field. Like every single time, they sort of look at your papers and look at you, and they look at your papers. And they're about 3 steps away, 3 seconds away from calling the dogs. And then they hand your shit back. And then you go on your day. And that's every single interaction I've had at customs. And imagine if I was not speaking from a privileged position. I can't imagine how difficult life would be if they were looking at you unfairly just because of who you were. Like, I look like what I am. You see the Truby channel. I have a position of, oh, I don't have to be mean to this person because human nature is awful. Everyone thinks Canada's weak. Canada, if I could push a magic button and be able just to poof on up to Canada, what a world that would be. The problem is, it's like, the only problem with emigrating to Canada is that you need to, have a vocation, like a real job. And I have a real job. But how do I correlate that to something on like a reservation, like a application, a visa? Excuse me. Now, granted, I have done zero research into this. Yeah, there are people who are nice to you, but the people who are nicest to you, you got to be careful. White House, more like ash-colored house. Also, Secret Mono channel, nice. I feel like this is going to be one of those maps that's going to go really well for a while, and then we're going to hit a hard stalemate like we usually do. I'm going to get this whole wall right here. I like Canada. I like Canada a lot. Every time I went to Canada, I was happy. I was happy with everything I saw. I mean, was I thrilled with the temperature? Nah. But I'm gonna let you in on a secret. Not really thrilled with the temperature here either. We've reached the point where I'm back to walking to my car and being hilariously sweaty by the time I get there. I think this is graffiti. It says cave wall. I don't know who was drawing on it, but it came... Yeah, what is this? There's some little elves. That's kind of cute. Oh, it's probably the gnome. I know they really like gnomes in this game. I wonder... I'm assuming they probably have detailed records of what the first White House was like, right? They had to have. Like, I hadn't really thought about it. Like, what the White House was actually like. I knew the White House was burned down. Oh yeah, not photos, but even physical descriptions, like, you know, letters. Some sort of archivist. Blueprints. A D&D sheet. Something like that. I want to know whether George Washington was a cleric. Anyways, I sort of lost the path there on Canada, but how would I correlate what I do to somehow be a usable skill to an immigrations officer in another country? I mean, would more than a decade of experience in training correlate to something worthwhile to our northern borders? That's the question, and I don't have an answer for that because I haven't actually thought about it very much. Also, supposedly all of these mini golf courses here have balls on them, and I think the majority of them are playable. Like, you can actually, like, put the ball into the hole. And there's no achievements for this map, so I don't know if there's a point to doing it. I'm gonna guess there isn't. I don't like that cut on Roar TV. Yeah, I don't like it. A good channel, but those jagged cuts right at the end kind of suck. And honestly, I could go in and fix them, But frankly, I don't know. Wikipedia tells a different story about what?
On August 24, 1814, during the War of 1812, the White House was burned by British forces during the burning of Washington. In retaliation for acts of destruction by American troops in the Canadas, much of Washington was affected by these fires as well.
Only the exterior walls remained, and they had to be. Oh, you're gonna do it again?
Only the exterior walls remained, and they had to be torn down and mostly reconstructed because of weakening from the fire and subsequent exposure to the elements, except for portions of the south wall. Of the numerous objects taken from the White House when it was sacked by the British, only 3 have been recovered.
Open the drawers of the museum. Open the drawers of the museums in London. I want to see where are they? What? Got Trump voice. Where are they? I don't want them back. I just want to see them. You don't have to give them back. You earned them. You got them fair and square. I just want to see them. We took the L on that one. You took them. They're yours. Getting up to 50% here. I want to say we're a little past the 50% mark in complete progress on Powerwash Simulator. The next paragraph starts White House employees and slaves. Yeah, I mean, it was, I know it's a bit of a meme to say it was a different time, but, it was a different time. I bought, what did I buy? This was related to something we were just talking about. I bought 3 things. Oh, I bought the Shrek. I bought the Shrek DLC for this game. For this game that we're playing right now. So eventually, we will get to playing the Shrek maps. Tonight is not that night. And I'm going to break it to you. The night coming up later in the month that's also Powerwash will not have Shrek in it either. Because I don't know if anything really started with M in the movie Shrek. I can't think of anything that started with M in the movie Shrek. Did anything in the movie Shrek start with M? Character-wise? Monsieur Hood, Magic Mirror, Mama Bear, Mabel. I guess that counts. I guess the Magic Mirror definitely counts. Ooh, don't trust GPT. It doesn't know shit. It's gonna lie to you all the time. I know that one for a fact that, yes, the Magic Mirror does exist in the Shrek universe, so I'm willing to believe it on that one. I did build I built a, sort of. I'm not done yet. I made a Python script that connects with the devil, and it holds on to, like, stuff about, like, your inventory and how much money you have, so you can use it to do D&D and not have it lie to you all the time about how much money you have or what's in your inventory. It can actually keep track of that stuff all the time. I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress, but I think it's going to be cool. I ended up making a full script that would play Millborn, however you say it, the French card game. And turns out the DOS version is so good and cool, and it was a complete waste of time. But it really helped me figure out what I wanted to work on, and that's this other project with the tabletop elements. I have it set up now where it will it will create a random story from a list of 50 Redwall style plots. Something like Mr. Crow is scheming against, Mrs. Thunderpots or some shit like that. And it will add a qualifier, something like, you're a panda. So it gives you little snippets of story based on little modifiers like that. I need to add more terrible modifiers. You don't know if you saw the Ubisoft thing. Their stock. Oh, I did. I saw what you said. Wasn't it Assassin's Creed, the new one, sold incredibly bad, like wildly poorly, unaccountably poorly? Is it because of woke? Was it woke? Did the woke do it? Was it because it was a grill? Was a grill the assassin, and that's why the game did bad? Not incredibly bad, just worse than they'd claimed. I mean, I'm sorry. Are we done with Assassin's Creed yet? How many games do they need to make in the damn series? Haven't they sort of done everything interesting at this point and then some? I mean, I don't mean to sound critical, but I feel like, actually, coincidentally, about 20% worse than they'd claimed. Oh, they're just getting their money back. Where's that one comic? I sure enjoy having everyone's money in my ass. That other guy's like, I don't trust my money in your ass anymore, so I need to withdraw. And everyone's like, I'm going to too. And it's like, oh no, there's a run on my ass. Is that one good? We'll come back for the windmill. I feel like this is going to be an annoying map because of all the little stuff. Like all the little the tiny bits. The Modern Mansion, which is a map we'll do later in the month, probably. That one has a lot of wide open spaces. They claimed 3 million, but it turned out to be like 2.4 million. So they were only down like 600,000 copies. That's not great, obviously, but also, I'm not in Twitch viewer. Now I am. Little eye bleach. Like, it's not great, but it's still making their money back and then some, isn't it? What's happening in the music right now? We just watched Granddad before stream started on the Roar TV. Music, you're killing me. I'm switching you to synthwave. That's what we're doing. Like, I really have no interest in playing any of the new Assassin's Creed. They've all done the same thing. I know I'm on a bit of a pedestal tonight. Pedestal. About I feel like they ran out of ideas a long time ago. I think they reached their zenith with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and everything's been downhill from there. And honestly, there was a few, you know, messes since then. Like even before that time, there were a few miserable games on their docket. We've reached the 50% mark. And if I were actually good at this game, that might mean we could finish this on time, but I am 1,000% not going to trust that at all. From all accounts, Shadows is just more of the same, plus more PR fuck-ups. It's just... I've always been a strong proponent. I've always been a strong proponent of the idea of if more of the same is good, right? Like, we like the thing that we like, and that just gives us more of the thing we like. That's awesome. Give us more of that. I'm getting older. That not really... I don't really like that mentality anymore. It's like, I kind of like seeing different things, different ideas, different genres, and different stories. Rehashing the same tired idea, he says on Powerwash Stream 37, is just kind of dull. It's just, it have some originality. Why is this map an M then? Miniature golf. I know it's hard to tell because this is basically a castle, but this is a miniature golf course. Also, if that's not good enough, this is all part of the Muckingham files. So if we look in the bonus jobs, this is all part of the Muckingham files. So that also counts as M. I took Mad Max off of the schedule. You played Mad Max, right, Feelanoid? I thought I saw you playing it for a hot minute a while ago. I took it off the schedule because from the screenshots and everything, it looked fun enough. But if it was going to be fun, I feel like it needed more than 2 days. Like, we weren't actually going to get through the game in 2 days. I'm pretty sure, right? Hold on. Where's YouTube? No, it's like 14 hours. Mad Max full game gameplay. Yeah, it's like 10 to 14 hours minimum. Like, that's like 5 streams. It wasn't satisfying because Denuvo was fucking with the combat, and the car combat was annoying. I'm gonna go to the 690 or the 6 minute and 48 minute mark. 6 hour 48 minute mark. I'm just gonna scroll through the game. When does the driving start? When do you do the driving in the Mad Max game? Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. Am I being fucked in the face? Is that 8 hours before it gets to the driving? Hoo-wee, Rick. Okay. Whew. Driving is pretty straight away. Maybe that's on me. Maybe you're just not finding it with random clicking. Maybe it's on me because I feel like I haven't seen the Mad Max movies, Army of Darkness, any of that style of movie, whatever. Whenever I think of that style of movie, I kind of think of a movie that actually has a bunch of driving around with the big cars and the grills. Although now that I'm saying that could be like 2 minutes of the entire movie for all I know. And that's the only part anybody knows about the movie. And I'm doing the thing I do with every movie and just assume that the only thing anybody knows about it is the only thing the movie is about. So then what's the point of the game? Like, what's... I could look it up. What is, where's Steam? Isn't it nice to know that our passwords aren't compromised for once? Okay, Steam. Oh, there we go. How's this new Doom game everyone's been talking about? What game was I looking up? What game were we just talking about? Oh, Mad Max, right. Mad Max. Store page. What's the plot? Play as Mad Max, a reluctant hero and survivor who wants nothing more than to leave his madness behind and find solace. It's an open world game, so there's a ton of Arkham combat. Oh, really? I like me some Arkham combat. I think more games need to have options where you can punch people a whole bunch of times and it's satisfying. I feel like a lot of games are missing that. At the start of a game, a local warlord jacks your car and you build a different car and allies to take it back. Then once you get it back, you fuck off and the game ends. So the entire plot of the game is to get your car back. So it's like Need for Speed Most Wanted. Which, by the way, is the only Need for Speed game I've played, and I thought it was pretty baller. And I think I bought it on Steam. I've never touched it, but I have it on Steam, I'm pretty sure. Grab the other side of this wall. Some of the timing was thrown off with the YouTube videos because I think a lot of people were starting to use their Switch by this point. And I want to say that using the Switch probably will take longer than using mouse and keyboard or a PC. A lot of different threads in there as well. I just have a lot of stuff to stream. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't done any... I know that it's going to need... If it's awesome, if this game I've got on there about Mad Max... If it's amazing, I would need more than 2 days. So, we'll see. What is this, metal? I think I might need to throw on a cleaning liquid here. See if we can clean off some of this rust. I have this. I have metal cleaner. I totally bought metal cleaner. Metal. Okay, I guess I didn't. Never mind. There's even a woman with a child that tries to attach themselves as Max to a new family, but he's crazy, so no. He's crazy? Did you ever see the Time Machine movie with Jude Law, I think his name was? I think... Oh, God, I'm trying to remember who else was in it. I think the 7-Eleven or the 7-Up guy was in it. Guy Pearce, thank you. Hi, Brad. Possibly the only person in the world who might like the Time Machine movie better than me. Do you actually like that movie, or do you just know a lot about it? That used to be one of my go-to movies. When I was in college, there was a couple movies that I would have. This was the days before YouTube. It's amazing. This was the days before YouTube. So what I had when I went to Valencia Community College, Florida man attempts to set world record for most churros eaten in 1 minute. There's the Matrix. Brad shows up and churros started talking about. When I went to Valencia, I had a portable DVD player. And I tell you what, I loved that thing. I loved my portable DVD player. I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have anything like that. I didn't have an iPhone. I didn't have an iPad. I didn't have a beeper. I didn't have any of that crap. This was 2003, 2002 or 2003. I had a portable DVD player, and pretty much the world was my oyster in terms of videos. I could watch whatever. Never occurred to me to look up lewd stuff. It wasn't really easy to find in 2002. Although I think that was the point where I was an adult. I didn't need to look up anything. I could have just gone home and done that. Plus I was at the library, so no thanks. I'm getting off the track. I had a rotation of movies that I would watch. And oh God, what movies were they? One of them was The Time Machine with Guy Pearce. One of them was American Beauty with good old Kevin Spacey. One of them was Groundhog Day. You want to know what one of them was? One of the movies I used to watch all the time was How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And I didn't care what month it was. I just sometimes liked watching it. It was a fun movie. I watched a lot of Castaway. Oh God, what else did I watch? Some of those movies were so good. They got me through. I used to have several 3-hour lectures. Like when you signed up for like the community classes back then, and I'm sure you still can these days. I signed up for like multiple like 3-hour lectures, and to get it done with once a week instead of having to come in multiple times a week. And the problem with that was that I'd have one 3-hour lecture, and then there would be like a gap before the next 3-hour lecture. So there'd be like a 1 to 2 hour gap. And that would happen like several times a week. So there was a lot of just hanging out at the college. And I love that DVD player. And I'm assuming we either chucked it or it's in the garage somewhere. But I gotta say, man, you know how when you look at like those YouTubers talking about going backwards in technology is the key to real enjoyment of media? I was starting to feel that a little bit when I was playing that terrible Milliborns clone. And part of me really wants to do a DOS night. I want to do a DOS night. I'm putting DOS night into the scribble pad. DOS night. Oh, by the way, Kitty, do you remember Spankies? No one else will know what the hell I'm talking about.
Hey, I'm going to do a random sound effect.
Wrong button. That was the wrong button. Never mind. That was the right button. Kitty, do you remember the Spankies sound alerts? There's a... Hold on, let me...
Spankies. Well, I wonder if they really spank people in here. Why it's called Spankies. Well, I wondered that myself. I wonder if they really spank people in here. Why it's called Spankies. Well, would you like to go inside and investigate, see if they really do spank people in here? Why it's called Spankies? Well, I agree. I'd like to go inside and investigate, see if they really do spank people in here. Why it's called Spankies. Well, then let's go inside and let's investigate.
This is all the intro. That was half the video. Are you even gonna get inside?
Well, are you ready to go inside and see if they really do spank people in here? Well, I agree. I'd like to go inside and see if they really do spank people in here, see if that's really why they call it spankies. Well, I agree. Let's do so.
That's the whole video. He doesn't even go inside. I don't think I've actually seen the full video. He doesn't even go in? I need to see the reflection. What voice?
I agree. Let's do so.
I need to match a voice to... Yeah, that's about what I expected. Let's get back to that. So that's the origin of the Spankies meme, which is a very esoteric small meme. But I was looking at it in the scribble pad. I didn't actually go in and do the thing I was going to type. What did I say I was going to do? DOS Night. That's right. I did type it. What did the sign taped to the door say? That's a good question. Door locked. Does that say door locked? I think it said door locked, go to the other side. That's really funny.
Spankies.
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 Yeah, that's really funny. He went to the wrong door. I agree. I spank people. I knew about the first half of the video. I hadn't actually seen the second half, and that's why I saved that one. Good lord. He doesn't even go into Spankies.
You ever want to go inside Spankies, see if they spank people, why they call it Spankies?
Well, I agree. I spank people. They call it Spankies. There's the guy that we watch. There's a guy called Chef T, and he does the world's most monotone. I don't want to disparage him. I don't want to disparage him because God bless him. He is a consistent food reviewer. He presents things very fast in a mumbling way. And it only goes on for half the video. And the second half of every video is him doing a giveaway for his YouTube subscribers. And that's every single video he's ever put out. More than half the video has been thanking people for subscribing. And it's not AI, it's some random guy. And it's just impressive how you can put out some content like that and bring a little joy to the world. And I started watching him, air quotes, ironically, and now it's just enjoyment. The reason I brought this man up is because he reminds me of this Spankies guy. There's a lot of interesting people in the world, and I think it's beautiful that the vast majority of them have a device in their pockets that will let them share a story with everyone else in the world, more or less for free. It's beautiful. Think about it. Think about the olden days. Think if you were in...
Spank your spanking Spankies in the Spanky
I
Spanky.
agree. I agree. It's the Spankies. Spankies. Okay. Yeah, think of how beautiful that is. If you were in Constantinople and the storyteller was in town and you went down to the square, to the big O, to hear the storyteller tell a story. How beautiful is it that nowadays, in the grand year of our Lord 2025, we are able to... I just dated the shit out of this VOD. We are able to hear a story from anyone, anywhere, It doesn't matter about language. We have technology to fix that. It doesn't matter about price because for the most part, it's essentially free. We could hear a story from anywhere in the world. People would kill for that in the olden days. And we use it to look up things like this.
Spankies. Well, I wonder if they really spank people in...
Okay. Spankies. It really feels like, what are some things that could have been accomplished by some of the people in the olden days if they'd had just a little bit more technology to help them out? Like, we couldn't give them all the technology we have because then they would turn into slobs just like us, and they wouldn't put out the fine masterpieces, as it were. We're almost to 69%. Going back to the original question, though, they're building a golf place near our house, relatively speaking. And it's a place called, like, what is it, Golf World or something like that? And I really don't think it's a miniature golf course, which is unfortunate. Because like I said earlier, I think that our town is in a desperate... we have a desperate famine of miniature golf places. I don't even know if there's any miniature golf places within 20 miles. I mean, maybe going down 27, like State Road 27, going towards Bach Tower, there might be a one of those, a miniature golf. I think it's really become more of a tourist thing, at least in this, part of the country. It feels like you're on vacation. What's the thing we got to do when we play vacation? Mini golf. Now, I wonder if the Camp Colaqua mini golf is on there, because probably that's the most mini golf I've ever played in my life. At the Seventh-day Adventist church camp that we went to many years over, they had I think from my recollection, a relatively competent miniature golf course. What channel is this? The Final Fantasy VI. I don't like that. I will keep that channel. No, I won't. There's probably plenty of other ones. Do we like do we like mini golf? Mini golf and goaling? That's what we should do. We should go to Splitsville. We should go to Splitsville down in Disney Springs and do some bowling. I think it's relatively inexpensive. And they have shoes that fit me. And that's amazing. I think they rent by the hour. So if we're real fast about it, we could sneak in like multiple games. Just take the kids. Oh, do we have to take the kids? Yeah, let's take the kids. I mean, maybe not necessarily anywhere. Splitsville? No! Splitsville! Disney Springs! Look at this shit! It's Splitsville. Really good roll, kid. I like how he sadly looked at the camera there for a few seconds. That's just 4 lanes. There are other lanes too. They're sort of spread out through a multi level area. We just I just went to Splitsville for an event that our team was invited to, and it is extremely alright. The bowling is very fun. Like I said, they had my shoe size. You know how hard it is to fit shoes on a turkey? Especially a turkey with honker shoes these big. It was a disaster. But they absolutely, they had no problems fixing my shoe, giving me shoes. Yeah, kind of what, if I remember right, hold on. Here, I got this. There we go. Okay. So if I remember right, it's something like this whole area in the middle where you sort of eat and stuff, and then off to the sides they have like little bowling lanes like all over the place. It's kind of a weird setup, and it kind of gives it that old school kind of vibe, like old timey lanes more than those newfangled lanes. Like, it doesn't feel like a new bowling alley. It kind of has that old timey bowling feel with all the new bowling amenities, such as being able to drink while you bowl. I gotta be honest, the last few times I've drank anything, I know I've said this before, I'm saying it again. The last few times I've drank things, I have felt completely miserable. I just don't think, I think I'm a straight up teetotaler when it comes to alcohol. And that makes me sad. Although, to be frank, I think that's kind of what they said when I got the surgery. I think they actually said, like, just don't, you're not going to be able to drink alcohol. And for some reason, I keep trying. If I drink small amounts, it's not so bad. I don't feel completely miserable when I do small amounts. But I'm not super good with my portion control. That is not my forte. It's part of the reason why I had the surgery to begin with. I bought a idle game. It's one of those games where you sort of can put in your tasks and your goals and your like to-do list, and it will like play something on the screen while lo-fi music is happening, and you earn points to customize your room, sort of thing. It's been done before, it'll be done again. I like the style, and I really like the art style of the game, so I ended up I got paid by Twitch the other day, so I ended up using it on like the Shrek for one thing, and I also bought a RimWorld DLC that I've been looking at because it's been on sale. So I didn't use Twitch money for that. I used my other money came in too. Because Twitch money only goes towards improving the stream. That's the Roar Stream promise. We're at 75% now. There's a whole section that I barely even touched. There's a whole section down here that I just passed by. Illinois, do you look at my cleaning style and just and just SMH yourself? Do you just SMH all over the place when you see me cleaning? Because sometimes I too SMH at myself. The positive is we will get back to it eventually. It's one of those things, it's kind of the same what is happening on... Oh, no, you're not getting away that easily. What is happening on this channel? It sucks, is what is happening. I just needed to see it. That is the Tentacle channel. Having fun at getting the job done? That's a good Mickey channel. God, I love RoTV too. Oh, RoTV 1 still a special place in my heart. Still gonna show up every 10 channels. But so many good channels on RoTV 2. I also have a semi-hard rule not to include credits. Like, if there's any RoTV channels that include credits, they gotta go. With the only exception being Star Trek Voyager's opening credits, which are amazing. I feel like I'm either having deja vu or I've already talked about this, both of which are equally possible. I need to turn down the Florida Man. I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to make the social links go twice before a Florida Man gets played. I'm always tinkering. Unfortunately, we did the Mars rover a few months ago. That would have been a great M game. Or, yeah, it would have been a great M map. Any dirt down there? Now, if we do go to Splitsville, what we ought to do... God, that would be a really long day. I was thinking if we did do Splitsville and did like a... go bowling, we could also go down to the mini golf that's down there. There's a really good mini golf at... near the downtown Disney Springs area. Problem with that, that's a long damn day. I don't think anyone wants to bowl and mini golf in the same day. That's a lot. And by I don't think anyone would want to do that, I am primarily talking about myself. I'm almost out of coffee. I've got to switch to juice in a minute. A lot of fade to blacks tonight on RoTV. Fade to blacks gotta go. You know what's funny? When the channels are changing and I have the ability to make one bad, I completely misread the channel and got rid of Seamus. I got him back, but for a second, he was in the bad channels. I'm like, Seamus, my guy, you're always getting into trouble, damn it. I think I'd like to get to at least, I want to say 90% of the goal would be good. Wow, I got him back. He was fine. It doesn't actually delete. Here, you want some back of the house lore? It doesn't actually delete the channels. It It did originally, and I didn't like that at all. I really didn't like that. So what it does is it moves the original into the bad channels folder, and I can delete them manually later. So I have the ability to fix any screw-ups like that. Because unfortunately, if I do it too close to a channel change, it'll hit during that too. And I really was worried that I was going to delete like a Roar TV original channel or Seamus or Finn or a channel I did not want to delete would end up getting deleted, and I couldn't have that. And honestly, if some channel is kind of sucks and I have to get rid of it, also, wow, I just got some wild deja vu because that is Grand Floridian. Because if a channel is okay and only 1 second of it's bad, I might do some editing and keep it, but it's very rare these days. I've got something like, 398,000 channels? I don't need to save every single channel. Some of them suck, and that's okay. It's okay for things to suck sometimes. Doesn't mean I'm going to keep it. Saw something for a second. No. Who has been your least favorite pet, Feelanoid? I know a lot of people's were Seamus, and I don't necessarily blame them. Although he had his moments. He had a very, very loud purr. Least favorite Finn? Why don't you like Finn? Finn's such a good puppy. He's such a good boy. He's like, yeah, he bites me. You should love the Finn. He bites the hell out of me and annoys the shit out of me. Where's that one thing I posted earlier? Was that memorial for the cat? And it was like, he was a terrible pet, but we loved him regardless. That's my relationship with Finn. Finn's a piece of shit, but I don't want... I don't know if I would jump in traffic for the dog, but the thought might cross my mind. And that's really the best you're going to get out of me when it comes to animals. How dare you, as he drops his ice cube onto my planner. With few exceptions like corgis, you don't like small dogs. I hear you, Feelanoid. I do. And I believe you. And I was the exact same way. And I think I still don't necessarily like the majority of small dogs. I love big dogs. I love Samoyeds. I love Dobermans. Really need to do a dog night. Oh God, that would be so fun. I need to set dog night for August. Oh, we're going to talk about dogs in August. Dogs in August. Woo. We're going to do the dog breed list in August. Oh, I can't wait. We got to get dog opinions. We're going to do the dog breeding list. Why August? Because July is full. Someone's gonna see my what I have scheduled for July and be like, "You put off dogs for this," and it's gonna be very funny. Oh, I gotta put that in the scribble pad before I forget. Dog in August. I have the third season of Bluey, I want to say, is scheduled for August. Sprawl will have my ass. About what? Why? Why will he have my ass? What will he be upset about? I missed something. Why? It's nice that we can stand on top of the arrow. Delaying dogs. I'm not delaying it. I'm scheduling it. I don't want to do a train. Get out of here. I'm scheduling it. You gotta have, sometimes you have stuff planned. I've had some of the stuff on my schedule for weeks, months even. I'm looking forward to June. I'm enjoying the month of M. Kinda. I'm kind of over the theme. I usually get over the themed months or weeks at some point. Didn't even show up in your chat. I really do love having these chat buttons here. It's very nice. If I ever got, honestly, here's the problem, and I tell this to Kitty every now and then, like, all of my cool stuff in my stream, all of my cool flashing keys and stuff would completely explode if they were used by a lot of people. So if anything ever happened where I suddenly got an explosion of people using the channel points and all the little gadgets and gizmos, I would have to change things. I gotta be honest, I don't know if it's sleepiness, headache, or the whole ganj, but I don't really remember why I was telling you that story. So I hope it was a good story. It wanted me to pick up something there a minute ago. I have not yet reached the point where I have gotten into delusional gibberish talking, which is usually where I get to after a prolonged power wash session. I think I just go into a minor form of going nuts because I've been cleaning for 2 hours straight and basically talking about nothing. Florida man found swimming in Phantasmic Lagoon. Don't do that. I once got a behind-the-scenes tour at one of the shows at Hollywood Studios, and it was super cool. And there was a lot of fun stuff to look at. And it was easily the hottest I've ever been in my life. And I kind of thought I was going to die from the heat. And this is a Florida boy saying that. Like, it was wildly hot. On the plus side, we got to go to 50's Primetime Cafe, and I got to get a peanut butter milkshake. And it was everything I hoped it would be. Is that Dr. Wily on Roar TV? Was Dr. Wily in the Captain N show? I know that Mother Brain was, and that stupid eggplant creature from Kid Icarus. I don't remember Dr. Wily being in a lot of Captain N episodes, and maybe that's something I need to watch. The Captain N episodes are on YouTube. Those would be fun. I remember watching those when I was a kid. It's actually a little wild to me, the characters they chose, like Mother Brain. Like, did Mother Brain ever have the anthropomorphic face that it does in the in the cartoon we see of Captain N? Like, I don't think so. Certainly not. Like, Metroid 3 hadn't even come out yet. The Super Metroid had not even come out yet by the time the cartoon was out. Maybe in the comics. So here's the problem. By the way, I'm going back to dog talk. Here's the problem with dog tier list. And this might be the opposite of a problem. Sorry. Let me just double check something with an old friend. How many different dog breeds are there if I were going to do a tier list? Oh God, no, that's too much talking. Knuckle that down to one paragraph, please. It doesn't.
Officially, the American Kennel Club recognizes around 200...
Start over.
If you're making a dog breed tier list, the number of breeds to include depends on how in-depth you want to go. Officially, the American Kennel Club recognizes around 200 breeds, while the International FCI recognizes about 360. For a manageable and engaging list, especially for casual content or a YouTube video, sticking to 20 to 50 of the most popular or recognizable breeds is a solid choice.
I can't do that. I can't do that. God, what a waste of time that would be. Let's pick my favorite 50 dog breeds and rank them. What, am I just not going to talk about pugs? Yorkie Poo is not recognized. Just stick to the ones you know. That's fair. So maybe I should just make a all dog breeds. Well, I don't necessarily know a lot of dog breeds. Also, very funny that Kitty is a Growlithe while we're talking about this. The fire dog from Pokemon. I don't necessarily know most dog breeds. I know Dobermans, I know German Shepherds, and I know Yorkie Poos. And I know Australian Shepherds. And that's it. Those are the only dogs I've ever... I know Bichon Frises. And I guess I kind of know Golden Labs. Because my uncle had one. Pomeranian. I've never had a Pomeranian. Also, that was a huge flashbang right there. You've had a Pomeranian, Kitty, but I have not had a Pomeranian. My most dog experience so far has been with the Australian Shepherd. You've had 3? I feel like I remember you telling me you've had more than... I know you had 2. Well, none of them were with me, so I haven't felt a connection to them to be able to remember them, so that must be it. Let's put you here. Clean off the rest of this sign. Pomeranians are small but hardy breeds. That's in season 2, right? Seesaw. We're gonna talk about season 2 episodes very, very soon in Bluey. I think that's in June. You give someone for you to raid when you're done. Who's that? I haven't done a raid. I haven't done a raid in forever. Should I start raiding? I probably need to start raiding, don't I? Do I need to do the Twitch meta? C. Jacobs is doing the new Doom. Yes, 3. No, you mean season 2. Yes, I want to say it's in season 2 because we just watched it, I think. I don't really love the idea of raiding, but I need to. I fucking need to do. I need to do it, don't I? I can raid it and watch a bit of it myself. Like, I'm not gonna grow on this damn platform if I don't start playing the Twitch game. I need to start updating socials. Raid whom? C. Jacobs is a something awful person, Kitty. Imagine how off-putting that would be if you didn't have context. Oh, that's an awful person that I'm gonna plan to send everybody to after the video. Also, he's a ludicrously positive guy. You want to know Honest Engine? My opinions on rating, which I hate, but we're gonna be real because I'm a real guy and I like being real with you guys. It's very awkward to raid small numbers because you feel like it's almost like you feel like you're advertising to another person and you don't even have anything. No way, I can't make that sound offensive. And you don't have something you feel merits interrupting their stream. I don't know how to mention that. I don't know how to, you know what I'm talking about? I've seen people raid with a group of one. You're not wrong. God damn it, I need to start raiding. You're not wrong. People do like to raid just by themselves. People like seeing the little icon. Hey, Bachito, it's that way, over here. The wingspan must have been 40 feet. Caramba, what is this? I need to watch Three Caballeros again. What a good movie that was. Also, speaking of movies, I've been extremely lazy. I think I've watched something like 4 or 5 movies, and I'm just gonna spoil it now. Kitty and I watched Monos: The Hands of Fate, the Mystery Science Theater 3000 version, and I'm probably gonna include it in the monthly because of how bad my my movie watching has been. And I'm going to spoil it. I've seen Monos: The Hands of Fate so many times that I actually unironically enjoy it. You would think raiding someone would be either kind or disturbing. You can turn off raids. You can turn off the ability to raid if you don't like it. You can also turn off the ability for raids to show up on the actual screen until a certain amount happens. Like, that didn't make any sense. Until a raid has a certain amount of people in it, which would avoid the on-screen alert for people who have like one viewer, which is them by themselves, which is fine. It's very, very, very much part of the Twitch meta, and quite frankly, it's people trying to help themselves get out of it, and they're doing more work than I have in 10 years, so who am I to give them shit? I know that none of that has anything to do with why you said I should raid them, but, you know, I took it to new heights. Tomorrow, I would like to take a look at my Switch and see if I'm able to hook it up to the computer again. I have the capture card. The problem I have is the sound. And I'm pretty sure that the Switch has a delay, and it still has a delay, and it will always have a delay when using the capture card I'm using. Even the one that I got, even the one that I purchased to replace the crap capture card I had, has that same problem, which is annoying. But maybe there's some Switch games that would be fun to play. Just for 2 minutes, that's where you're going when you're done anyways. You said you wanted to see some of the new Doom. Fair enough. How is the new Doom? Is it, I'm going to be real. I was not aware that a new Doom was happening until I saw Darkside Phil was playing it. I don't think I've told Kitty about Darkside Phil. Would it be cruel to tell Kitty about Darkside Phil? What a mess. What a mess that man is. Sometimes I feel like when I tell stories, especially to Kitty, it feels like I am forcefully shoving the apple of knowledge between those pursed lips. And it's like, you wanted knowledge? Like, no. Making myself laugh. Yeah, I mean, he's not a bad person. He's just an awful person. He's a cringe lord. He's a cringy boy who has been a cringy boy. He's not a boy. I think he's older than I am. He's been doing the same shtick of being terrible at video games and begging for donations every 5 seconds. The begging for donations wasn't as big a deal back in the beginning because he didn't actually beg for them. Remember what TG1C refers to? Probably. She plays Wordle. She's just give her enough time. She'll know what that reference is. But again, that's one of those knowledge of truth and evils that, yeah, probably. Like Skeet Fighter, I'm going to be real. I have no regret showing Kitty Skeet Fighter. Some people might. Some people might have regret showing Skeet Fighter to people. But Skeet Fighter is wonderful. I wonder how long I've been on the green nozzle. I'd like this treasure chest to be done, please. It's 2 girls, 1 cup is what the reference was, by the way, in case you was wondering. Anyways, Darkside Phil has been trending because apparently on the new Doom, he did his normal shtick of, you know how sometimes I'll play a video game and I'll do something real stupid and I'll die and I'll be like, oh, okay, that got me killed. All right, I won't do that again. Imagine not doing that last part and just dying over and over on the easiest parts of video games that you've ever seen in your life. And instead of taking the piss for dying, instead of, taking the blame for it, yeah, exactly. That's what happens. Like, if I were here, if he were playing Powerwash Simulator, did he ever play Powerwash Simulator? He did.
One of my beloved ugly Christmas sweaters that I've worn for years and years and I cherish and they're part of the event? You really want me to destroy that? Are you kidding me?
It actually seemed like a palatable stream. What's up, baby? Bad point in the video to go to because it actually seemed like a palatable watch. But, I'm sure Johnny Somali has a few minutes of, oh, this is why people watch him. And I'm not here to judge anybody on why they watch anybody. We all, content creators all have, they all have something to provide. Whether I think those things are worthwhile or not isn't up to me. Art is art to somebody. Even in those circumstances, there were 3 instances of him bitching about the way there was no way to rotate the map with the controls for it half screen at the time. You remember when I played I don't remember who was there at the time. Do you remember when I played XCOM and I was yelling about being not in cover or something along those lines? I was like, I totally am in cover. I don't know how you do all that, you know. And I was talking shit, and then I immediately noticed, like 5 seconds later, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, well, okay. That's Darkside Phil, except he never, ever takes the blame for it. It's always the game's fault. The game did it. The game is a problem. It was created by our slurs. Everybody who doesn't agree with him is an R slur. I take responsibility. Usually. I would say if I know in my heart that I did wrong, I'm not going to be able to live with myself in most circumstances, knowing that I did something incorrigibly wrong. Now, every situation, I don't know. I said usually. And there are some times where I will be pig-headed and think it's the game's fault when it's very clearly my own fault. I think when I am at my most adamant about it being the game's fault, I think that's usually when it's not, because I'll admit it when it's 100% my fault. When I'm adamant it is 100% the game's fault, it's usually a good half and half. At that point, it's usually a good. The game's half the game's fault, half my fault at that point. And I think that's fair. For the most part, I try to. Anyways, it's not about me. Darkside Phil, God bless his little heart. He never reaches that step ever. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm not here to judge. But just speaking objectively, as someone far less popular than Darkside Phil, I don't know why the fuck people watch him. But I've been playing Powerwash for 2 hours as a turkey, so what the fuck do I know? It's like, he certainly has something going on. If I want to be known for bumbling incompetence and screaming the R slur, then maybe I can get those sweet Twitch bucks too. But until then, I'll take my, bi-yearly $50 check from Twitch. Thank you very much. We actually haven't been up to this top level, at all. I've been relatively consistent with this playthrough, with this map. I've pretty much gotten the majority of the stuff on the bottom areas of this map and have gone up there. No one can ever tell about how much what he does is performative. If it is, I hadn't really thought about that, but that 5 seconds we just watched of him talking about his stupid sweater.
You want me to destroy that? Are you kidding me? Anyway, when sitting one spot, please use aim mode. It's giving me motion sickness, says Gareth. Oh yeah? This?
Why am I watching? I don't know why I'm watching him. I'm just trying to see if I'm waiting for a scene where he's freaking out about something. There's probably a compilation we can watch. I was kind of hoping that I could just pull to a random point and he's just doing his shtick. But honestly, that seemed perfectly watchable. No worse than the stupid shit I do. But yeah, I've seen compilation back, I think in the Retsu Prey days, they were doing compilations of him just being like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what button to push. I don't know what button to push to change my thing. And at the bottom left of the screen, there's the E. That's bullshit because that's the entertaining part to some people. YouTube has decided that that is my jam and has been showing me daily updates from this guy who does, again, daily updates from the Dark Side Phil channel. And I gotta be honest, I don't think I care about anybody that much. It's like, I don't need a 45-minute update on Dark Side Phil being angry. Goodness gracious. Thanks for being here, I guess. I do like compilations, though. Compilations are nice. By the time we come back, it'll mostly just be that top area. I don't know. Maybe I'm starting to notice that more and more in my life, that I've just had perceptions of things and I've let them color all of my opinions. I just have perceptions of what Dark Side Phil is like. I just have perceptions of what, say, the government's doing or of XYZ. And I think I've spent way too much of my life trusting what things actually are. And the more I think of how gullible and lied to a lot of people are every single day, the more it's incredible to me. Like, why are people such shit all the time to everyone? Gateway crenellations. What's a crenellation? Hey, I got it. I mean, maybe that's too heavy a topic for Dark Side Phil discussion, but I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. Also, YouTube desperately thinks I want to watch his videos. I want to see if this thing is working. Where is it? Where is it? Where is the RPG Maker? There it is. Actually, I'm going to delete your history and then I'll open you. Here we go. So if I do this and I load a scene, it's going to load a really terrible scene. A blind mold gardener hums as he tends wildflowers, unaware of the adder watching silently from the hedge. Modifiers. You are a grizzled veteran coyote. I'm going to put this into... Oh, that goes beyond the character limit. Never mind. Read this, please. It was possible for the Founding Fathers because the amount of knowledge on any given subject was small, but today there's 10 times as much info and 100 times as many lies. It's hard because everybody can have some form of authority, because everybody with a smartphone can appear to, can give the perception that they are intelligent. No, just fucking just fucking print it word for word, please. There we go. Okay, read it out.
Sure. The sun filters lazily through the leaves as I, a seasoned coyote with scars and stories to tell, crouch behind the dense hedge. My sharp eyes catch the subtle movement of the adder, its sleek body coiled and eyes gleaming, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The blind mole continues humming softly, completely unaware of the danger nearby. I gauge the distance and the threat, my instincts honed over years in the wild. The adder's tongue flicks, tasting the air, while I weigh my options, sneak past or confront the danger.
That's so terrible.
The
Hi,
choice is
Sprawl.
mine.
What am I being wrong about? I've scheduled a dog tier stream for August because June and July are full. Roar implying not all dogs are S tier. Sprawl, you look me dead in the fucking eye and tell me that a French bulldog belongs in S tier. A pug. A bulldog. All dogs belong in S tier. Pugs are kind of cute. That is not what I said. All dogs have souls. I would agree with that. But I can tell you right now, not all of them belong in S tier. Pugs are... I'm going to tell you right now, most abominations aren't getting into S tier. I said most. And God bless them. Bulldogs, Dachshunds, French poodles, or French bulldogs. All dogs belong in S tier. No. All dogs are great. What is wrong with the Dachshund? They're abominations. I love Dachshunds. But they're abominations of dogs that have horrible problems their entire lives. Or is wrong. That's fair. You can agree with that. You can say that. You're welcome to provide your opinions in August. Listen, I'm down for discourse. But again, bulldogs don't belong in S tier. Hold on. Bulldog. Jesus fucking... Look at this dog! Is he adorable? Yes, I would pat that dog's head like there's no tomorrow. Absolutely. That dog is S tier. Alright, okay, Sprawl. I will cut you a compromise. All dogs are S tier. But not all dog breeds are S tier. A dog belongs in S tier. But bulldogs do not. You see, do you know where the distinction is? You get what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm putting down? They have a hard time breathing and they drool a lot. You're absolutely right, Kitty. I'm just gonna look up on YouTube real quick. Bulldog heavy breathing. This is a shit life. Also, good music. It can't breathe. Give that poor dog a tracheotomy. Give that poor dog a CPAP. That poor dog can't breathe. And that dog is wonderful. That dog is a treasure and should be protected. But that dog breed is a dog breed. And the Yorkie poo is not. Now, don't get me wrong. Yorkie poos are goddamn abominations, too. But not... Actually, no, they're not. They're not abominations, but they are not what was intended in the great circle of life. You've actually seen a doggy CPAP? Am I looking at a fucking AI picture of a dog with a CPAP?
Did you know that sleep apnea isn't just a condition in humans? Our furry friends can suffer from it too. Today we're diving into the surprising world of sleep apnea in dogs. Whether you're a dog owner or just curious, this is something every pet lover should know. So what exactly is sleep apnea in dogs?
We can
Well,
probably...
just like in humans, sleep apnea is a condition where a dog's breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. This can lead to poor quality of sleep and other health issues. It's more common than you might think, especially in certain breeds. Some breeds are more prone to sleep apnea due to their anatomy, particularly brachycephalic breeds.
What?
Dogs with short nose
What did you say?
due to their anatomy, particularly brachycephalic breeds.
What the fuck is that? Brachycephalic? Oh, they have a name? Ooh. Oh, but boxers are included. I love boxers.
Breeds, dogs with short noses and flat faces. These include bulldogs, pugs, Boston Terriers, amongst others. Their unique facial structures make them more susceptible to airway obstruction during sleep. So how can you tell if your dog might have sleep apnea?
Did I say anything?
Signs to watch out for.
Did I say anything egregious today? I've never said anything egregious in my life. I'm actually the least egregious person you've ever seen. I just hit the microphone.
Loud snoring, choking or gasping during sleep, and excessive sleepiness during the day. If you notice any of these symptoms, it's time to take action. If you suspect your dog
Take action.
has sleep apnea, the first step is to visit your veterinarian. They can thoroughly examine your dog's nose, throat, tongue and mouth and recommend treatments like lifestyle changes such as weight management. So how do you treat sleep apnea
How
in
the fuck? Okay.
dogs? Well, for most people with obstructive sleep apnea, they use a CPAP machine to help keep their airway open while they sleep. However, to date, no CPAP devices have been designed for dogs.
Well, I don't care. What is this thing? What is this dog wearing?
But who knows what the future might hold. Hint, hint, ResMed.
Oh, he's got
There
a little
are,
face
however,
mask.
several other treatment options. Veterinarians may prescribe medications, ondansetron and trazodone to name a few, and these drugs work by keeping the upper throat from relaxing and closing the airway. Brachycephalic dogs may require surgery to correct breathing issues caused by BOAS, brachycephalic obstructive airway syndrome, although some dogs may continue to have sleep apnea symptoms even after surgery.
Then what's
Extra
the
weight
fucking
can
point?
also make breathing more difficult for brachycephalic dogs, so veterinarians recommend that owners help their dogs maintain a healthy weight.
That's
If
not-
you think your dog
that's
might
not
have sleep
helpful.
apnea, see your veterinarian for a proper diagnosis and treatment. Sleep apnea in dogs can be a serious condition, but with the right care and attention, your dog can enjoy a happy, healthy life. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button.
I've got an idea to help. Stop getting dogs that are like this. What is on Iron Chef? Is that real food? What is that? That looks gross. I did say I was wrong about games earlier. I tried to. Sprawl, I was saying that we were talking about Dark Side Phil for a while. And I was saying earlier that I'm against rescuing a bulldog. I'm for rescuing that bulldog. I don't think we should spend research into making the ultimate bulldog. I think we should stop making bulldogs. We should stop making dogs that have their entire lives be miserable. How about instead of making a dog that looks like this? How about instead of spending millions of dollars to make this thing do it to make this thing do it? How about we spend a little more money, I don't know, with dog breeds that aren't abominations? Is he a good boy? Absolutely, he's a good boy. Is a dachshund a good boy? 100%. What about God, what's the worst dog I can think of? I keep going back to, like, what are those dogs that look like mops? Mop dog. This isn't what I'm thinking of. This isn't the dog I'm thinking of.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
This dog's adorable. Oh, what a good boy. Chihuahuas. Yeah, tell me a Chihuahua. I like to pet my dog.
Hi everybody, it's Paul. You know, a lot of people ask me, after a long day of voiceover or writing or doing all those creative things that I do, how do I relax? Well, like many other Americans, I come home and I
pet my dog.
You see, petting your dog is one of the most relaxing things you can possibly do. It releases a hormone
Fucking love this
called oxytocin, which reduces stress. Also, it lowers your heart rate and it lowers your blood pressure. Plus, people who pet their dogs are 5 times more likely
What is this
to live
beast?
longer than people who just have cats. Plus, the dogs like it so much, and it's a nice bonding experience.
Otherwise, this is a bit. Yeah, he knows the Chihuahua's being a dipshit. Yes, I'm aware of that.
Daddy's little boy, that's right.
But let me tell you something. This Chihuahua acts like this when the camera's not on, too. Speaking as someone with a small dog who likes to bite people, trust me, they love biting. I pet my dog. He probably trained it. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a fucking second. I can go in there and talk to Finn for about... I can go in there and show my face in the bedroom, and he's going to pop up from the deepest sleep and start trying to play with me. I was mentioning earlier, his favorite game is bouncing around me like an idiot and trying to lick my fingers or bite me until I pay attention to him. All dogs be trained? That's not... He probably trained it for things that aren't that. We've taught Finn how to get his toy. That's pretty cool. We've taught him... Usually what happens is if he starts getting too bitey, or is too barky, he's not allowed to make loud barks. He's allowed to talk, he's allowed to growl, he's allowed to make little yips, but no sharp barks, and he knows it. So if he ever starts getting barky, the game stops, and he has to take a little break, and then I tell him that then he goes and gets his toys. Just because Finn is a dumb boy doesn't mean you can't train a dog to do something. You really think that Paul Rugg taught his Chihuahua to do this?
Which reduces stress. Also,
you don't have to teach a Chihuahua to do this. You don't have to teach a small dog to be a little shit. The bit, I believe you when it's a bit. I believe that this happens all the time. And that he pets his dog when the dog is in a mood like that. Whoa, it's loud. He pets the dog when the dog's in a mood like that, and the dog goes ham on his fingers. I have anti-dog bias. I don't know. Why would you think that? I have a dog. And look, there's a pig on Roar TV and a whole puppy channel. Picked a really unoptimal time because I've got a Roar TV channel playing right now with a dog and also a pig. Guys, tomorrow night, or Saturday night, Moon Knight. Moon Knight Reborn. We're watching some Moon stuff. It's going to be awesome. You have many dog pets? I love my dog. I like to pet my dog. there's no way that Chihuahua was trained to do that. I'm just gonna say that now. I'm willing to stand on my laurels. First of all, why in the hell would you ever train your dog to do that on purpose? That sounds miserable. Why in the world would you want your Chihuahua to act like that? Like, even as a bit, unless it's someone else's dog, good Lord, would I never want my dog to act like that on purpose. Finn will be, Finn bites the shit out of me all the time. He doesn't need training for that, dog actor, which is I don't want to get dog actor. Bite. Also, he said he wants to pet his dog. You said, why would you train a dog to act like that? You might want a dog to do that in a movie. I'm just saying, I've never owned a Chihuahua, but I would like to think, based on my knowledge of small dogs, that you would not need to train a Chihuahua to do that. You would not need to train any small rat kind of dog to do that because they love that shit. You give a dog a warm hand to bite, they love that shit. I think you're could he have trained the dog to do that? 1,000%. Did I look at Twitch viewer? No, I'm in Scribblepad. I don't get that joke. Also, it's screwed up for frustrating when they give you a name as simple as David, but they misspell it as Solid Snake. I don't know enough about Metal Gear. I thought long and hard about putting Metal Gear on the month of M. And I thought against, and I decided against it because I figured the idea. Now it's funny. Okay, I get it now. I thought long and hard about putting Metal Gear into the month of M, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Am I going to do Metal Gear 2, the only one I've ever played? That one will take days. How long would that take? I'm going back to YouTube. Metal Gear 2. No, what the hell is the name of the Metal Gear PSX? What is the second one? Exactly. Metal Gear, what the hell is 2? Revengeance? Is that the name of the second one? No, that's not their Sons of Liberty? It's Sons of Liberty. Sons of Liberty full game. Oh, only 7.5 hours, huh? I would say adding an extra hour onto that would give me 8 hours. So even just that one game would be a whole 8 hours. I don't know if I was ready for that kind of time commitment. I had a lot of other M games. And then I'm like, do I want to start on Metal Gear 1, the NES game? Doesn't that game suck balls?
David Hayter, the Come Crusader.
David Hayter, the Come Crusader. Are those actually the lyrics? Fuck everyone named Alex. There's a song I'm never gonna have Kitty listen to. Any one of those three. Holy cum wars. There's a snake in my ass. I actually was looking for that like a week or two ago. It took me a long time to remember how to find the name of that song. That's an actual reference to Metal Gear. It's kind of funny. I thought I wasn't going to be able to finish this tonight, but we're getting pretty close. I know the last few percent usually takes a long time, but based on how much is like... Okay. I'm not going to play that now. I did actually find it. But thank you. I think the third one is easily the best of the three songs. But it's pretty aggressive, even for me. Like, there's a few songs out there that I pretty much will listen to anything. I don't have any issues with pretty much any style of music. There's a few songs I have some issues. You just say that because there's a hot big boob demon lady. Such a good song. I could just tease it. I actually have Kababies, which is the original from what that song is based on. It's in one of my opening songs. And every time I hear it, there's a snake in my ass. And it just makes you think there really is a lot of beauty left in the world. Is it even possible to get this last 2% within a half hour? Like, I'm pretty tired, but if we're super close to the end... Let's see. Let's finish up this castle at least. Like, there's still a lot of dirt everywhere I look. That's the problem with these huge maps. Like, being close to 99% doesn't necessarily mean dick if there's dirt everywhere on the map. Back in the early days of AI, someone made a deep fake of Epstein singing the first song. Welcome to the cum zone. I don't know what Epstein sounds like, but that's what the original song sounded like. I think the original song was way more palatable than the other two. I think the third one was easily the best song to listen to. But in terms of like, hey, could you listen to this with your grandmother? Nah. But it's going to be better than the third one. That's for doggone sure. The other songs I don't really... a little hard for my taste. This video is age restricted.
Welcome to the cum zone. Only cum in...
Okay. I see it now. A little... I'm not sure it fits the theme of our cool, slow-moving mini golf course. How many things do I have left to get? Do I have more than a page? Oh, I do. Oh, I've got so much. Okay. Yeah, there's no way I'm getting that within any reasonable time, and I'm already way over my time. I'm a sleepy boy, so I think I'll call it there. That was fun. That was fun. Remember, Saturday, we are doing Moon Knight. We're going to be watching something really cool. Don't forget the raid. Shit. Forgot about the raid. How do I even do a raid? How do I raid people again? C. Jacobs? What's his actual name? Shut up, music. Shut up, music. Turn you back on. You did great. Thanks, baby. Is it C. Jacobs? It's like spelled like that? That's not how that works at all. Never mind. C. Jacobs LP. Okay. Sure. Let's raid C. Jacobs LP. Kitty, ask Roar to show you the video. She really does not want to see the video. I promise you. She does not want to. There's 7 people here? Why y'all watch me? That was fun, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Love you. See you on Saturday. Let's watch the moon. Woo!